Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, 10 of Wands. You've gone all in on something in your life, and I think that you're kind of feeling the pressure, right? This is a card of an intense weight, intense responsibilities. I feel like you're spreading yourself very thin. I feel like you're somebody who is trying to do everything for everyone, okay? And it may be that we're feeling the exhaustion, we're feeling the weight, we're feeling the pressure. I feel like a pain in the middle of the back. You know, I feel a lot of tension in the body right now. It seems as if we're sort of exhausting our energies right now, and we might be in need of some replenishment, some recharge. It might be really an idea here that we need to rest, okay? And you don't have to have a reason to rest. You don't need to earn it. You can just rest. It's okay, you know? Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what is going on for you. There's the Three of Wands. By your own virtue, you're keeping yourself going. You're not allowing yourself to quit. You're not allowing yourself to rest or to recharge. But we need to. Okay. We have the Hermit. We have a Princess of Swords. There's the Six of Cups. Very good. And the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, yes. Okay. So we're sort of looking at rest as like as a detour, as a distraction. But I think really the rest, and we're using the Six of Cups as that card, kind of like focusing on the self-care. It's your relationships, it's your sleep, it's your diet, it's your exercise, it's your stress reduction, it's all those things, right? It's the 6 pillars of health with that card, right? That is going to help you to get to your goal. We got fire and earth. All this intense fire, you're getting a level 10 effort, level 10 rewards, right? That money is coming in. And I think you are so close. You don't want to burn out before you get to the goal, though, do you? No. I know you don't. So the Six of Cups is going to be very, very important. Here we have a Knight of Wands, right? More fire energy. We've got the Fool. We have the Ace of Cups, yeah. And we have the Moon card. To me, the Moon card here as your destiny card, as the final outcome card, is saying that you have to understand that your energy comes in cycles. And I think that we very often get stuck in this go mode, and we got our pedal on the gas, our foot on the gas, pedal to the metal, you know. And we need to realize that the car needs to come, we need to ease down sometimes, and then we can come back up to speed again. You know, it's that, you know, and they say when you're braking in an engine, in a brand new car or something, you don't want to just go at one speed the whole time. You want the dynamics. You know, you want to really rev it and go really fast, but you want to slow down and go kind of slow, and you want to hit all the stages in between in order to really to grow in a healthy way. So I think the Moon card is quite nice. It does show that the sun is just about to rise, that the result of all of this is going to be your ascent into the daytime, right? It feels like now you're in this very grueling nighttime period, right? But the sun's about to rise. The light is about to dawn. You're about to get to your goal, right? The little beetle is pushing the solar disk up over the horizon. Through your own efforts, you're creating the success here, okay? But we need to be able to maintain this, and I think we need to focus on some of these pillars of our self-care, right? Pillars of health. But let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with our little sea turtle friend right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, you see major, major, major arcana. You know you need to rest. You know you need to I don't know, you need to ease back a little bit. You need to have a little bit of time for yourself. Okay? And now when we have a contrast between these two cards, it could be suggesting that you've been too involved with everybody else, that you haven't taken enough time to be alone. I think you value your alone time, but you haven't been getting any. Okay? We've got our Fool, of course, in the environment, and the Fool is kind of the feather on the wind. You know, the Fool is kind of like always ready to just to do whatever is coming down the line next. Okay, and so it could even be that there is so many people that are asking things of you or trying to pull you in different directions that we might be taking valuable time away from our kind of life goals anyway, because we're in this like working for others kind of mode. Okay, or maybe there's a situation where other people in your life aren't really pulling their weight, or that all this pressure, maybe this is the way we feel like all the pressure is on us, that I've got to do everything. So the Fool can be really a card of renewal or a card of rebirth, a card of really like a fresh energy coming in. Okay, a breath of fresh air, maybe a moment between these two, a moment where we can just breathe. Right, where we can be out from underneath all that pressure, and we can just take some deep breaths, and we can relax, we can unwind, we can go play. Maybe you're taking a day that's going to be just for you, to go treat yourself, right? To do nothing or anything, right? But to be out of the responsibility, away from it for a time, and maybe it's at night. Maybe it's saying like you're not even sleeping well at night because you are so consumed with all these responsibilities. We need to find a way where we can literally unwind ourselves, you know, and we can release some of the tension that we're feeling now. Yeah. So anyway, we've got our majors. We've got quite a bit of fire. We've got water. We've got air. And of course we have our earth cards. Okay. With the Princess of Swords, this is a card of learning. This is a student kind of energy. So I feel like it's sort of representing the origin of your current path. Okay, and maybe it has something to do with a skill that you were trying to learn or a relationship that you were trying to build. Because this is someone that doesn't really know anything yet, but is entering a path. I feel like you kind of jumped into something. We do have the impulsive Knight of Wands here as your general energy. I feel like you got into something not knowing all the facts, not knowing all that it would entail. Okay? We entered into a situation, a partnership, a relationship, a business, a skill, a path, a hobby, a sport, maybe, not really knowing how much of our energy it was going to demand. Okay? We went in not having all the details. Okay? And that's fine. And I think very often that's what we do. It's usually somewhere after the beginning of something that we start to have a growing realization of, oh wow, I kind of bit off more than I wanted to chew here. But by our virtue of our Three of Wands, we're not giving up, we're not quitting. Okay, so the right thing for you is to finish the task, is to finish the job. Maybe this was a, contracting job or something, or you were hired, you were commissioned to produce something or write something, or you took on a project at work, right? Or you sort of, naively volunteered for something, and now it's like, ooh, this is a lot of responsibility. This is a lot of work. Okay? But you've got the Three of Wands. So this is that virtue that says we know that we got to do the right thing. And we know that we have to, we've got to see this through. We got to finish it. Now, Spirit's saying something about a talent show, or there's some kind of an entertainer in your family, or you do something like that. I feel like there's someone up on stage performing something. I don't know if you're an entertainer or there's one in your life or something like that. Yeah. Maybe you're doing some work for them, or I don't know what it is. But the Three of Wands is us knowing ourselves. And I think that if you're very honest with yourself, you know you're not going to give up. I know I'm not going to quit. I'm not walking away from this, But how do we keep ourselves going? How do we make sure that we don't have to give up, right? We better sit down before we fall down, kind of thing. And I think that what we're recognizing is that, I need to take care of myself so that I can finish this task, fire to earth, that I can get to the goal, that I can do what is expected of me. I can take care of my responsibilities. I can get to the finish line. I can get the wealth. I can get the money. I can get I can get all the coins, right? I can get all the gold. And in order to do that, in order to have the virtue and follow through with that virtue that says, I'm not going to give up, okay, we need to embrace the Six of Cups. This is a card of community. This is the card of love. This is the card of pleasure. This is the card of tranquility and relaxation, right? This is the 6 pillars of health. It is intentional eating. It's intentional movement, adequate sleep, stress reduction, healthy relationships, and of course the 6th one, the sense of purpose. Okay? And you're right in the middle with all of those things around you, ideally. So the question is, which one of these things have you been neglecting? Maybe it's we're working so hard on this life, on this project or this partnership or this business or whatever. We've been working so hard on it that we haven't been getting enough sleep, haven't been drinking enough water, haven't really been eating right. Now, I've been too stressed out and I'm not taking enough time to kind of to unwind and de-stress. Or I don't feel like I have any personal relationships. Or it could be one or more of these. Or it could be that I sort of lost the drive. I've lost the sense of purpose here. I don't feel connected with the thing, with the project. Okay? So you need to ask yourself that question. Which one of these pillars of health, right, one or more of them, are out of alignment? Which one needs more focus? And then, of course, the hermit, under the surface, you know that you need to take a moment and ask yourself the questions. So the hermit is kind of like taking a pause in order to look inside and ask the question, to be introspective. Look inside. Introspective, right? Say, which one of these pillars am I neglecting? How many of them, right? Which ones am I neglecting? Maybe I'm not eating right. I'm not sleeping very well. Okay? Because I think once one becomes unstable, the other pillars start to get shaky too, right? So it's sort of, we fix one, we stabilize the rest of them. We shore them all up, and we have a wonderful foundation here that's saying, you're going to get to your goals no matter what. It's your time to achieve all the marbles. This is all the marbles. This is the achievement of your best life. Okay? So I don't feel like you're you volunteer to help somebody out with their life. Now, I feel like this was something that you decided to get into, and you took a chance on the biggest, it's like you took the biggest risk of your life, not knowing exactly what it was going to entail. And that's where our Princess of Swords came in, right? And so now that we are in the middle of this path, or building this life, or reaching the goal, our virtue says that we have to sort of, I don't know if we're swallowing our pride a little bit, but we're recognizing where I need to put myself in a more harmonious alignment so that I can get to this goal. Because if we burn out right now, we're not going to be able to reach the goal tomorrow. Okay? So your virtue is your ability to make the right choices, to do the right thing. It's like you know what the right thing to do is. Now it's just a matter of doing it, taking some time to ask ourselves the questions and focus on the self-care. Focus on those pillars of health that may be out of alignment, or they may be a little bit shaky or unstable. Okay. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is obviously the picture of your best life. That this is what we envision our life to be. This is who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing in the best, the highest, the most enlightened, the most aspirational version of myself and my life. This is it. This is the picture of it. This is a card of wealth. We want the wealth. We want the reward for all of our work. Right? You work hard and you want the life. Well, if we want the life, we have to also, it's kind of like saying you love this so much, right? This is what you want. Do you love this enough that you're willing to get enough sleep for it? Right? Do you love this enough that you're willing to, make healthy, food choices in order to get this? Do we need a moment here to reconnect with the purpose? Right? Because maybe that's kind of the critical thing. If the sense of purpose isn't there anymore, and we kind of see the Ace of Cups here in the position of the obstacle, it could be that we're just not sure if our heart is still in this. If this is still what we want, because maybe when you start to feel so exhausted and so burned out, it's really difficult to motivate ourselves to say like, yeah, I still want this, I still love this, I'm still in it. There's really the point where we get so depleted in our vitality that we just say, I don't care about this anymore. I just want it to stop. I just want to feel better, right? So by taking some time now and focusing on these 6 pillars of health, I feel like your sense of purpose will be renewed. I think that taking a little bit of a break is going to allow you to reconnect with that sense of purpose and say, yes, I love this more than anything, and I need to do the right thing so I can continue this path. So this card's in the position of the obstacle. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles is everything that you value. Okay, and you have to be in this picture. You have to value yourself. You have to love yourself enough to take care of yourself so that you can accomplish this anyway. And I do feel that there are people that are relying on you. I feel with the Ten of Wands that there is this perception that it's all on you. That if you weren't doing it, nobody would be there to pick up the slack. Right? It's kind of like when you have a job and you feel like you can't take a day off because there's no one that can step in and do your work for you while you're gone. And I was in a job like that. The job that I had, 15 years I was at this company. And I just quit a couple of years ago, started doing this full time. This is my job now, right? But when I was working for that company, especially towards the end, I'd have to take time off for medical reasons. I had a liver transplant, also 15 years ago. Really just right after I started that job. So in the last couple of years of my employment there, I had to take some time off, and I had doctor's appointments and things like this, right? But I noticed that every time I'd come back the next day or 2 days later, I'd come back, all my work will have piled up. Okay, and it's kind of it was sort of the culture of the company, and really part of the process. It was kind of in the handbook, that when somebody is gone for a day or two, that the rest of the team will kind of share in that workload, so that things don't fall behind. But I would come back and I'd realize that my work had fallen drastically behind just after a day or two. A lot of things piled up, and so it kind of felt like, well, I guess I'm sort of discouraged to take time off because nobody would pitch in to clear the work out, right? And so whenever you can have a conversation and you can address the issues and hopefully it gets better and things like that. And so it has that feeling here with your Ten of Wands, because we don't see a lot of air energy. We see the princess over here. Maybe the princess is back here saying, well, yeah, I've already had that conversation a lot of times, but it still feels like this is just my responsibility. If I take a day off, nobody's gonna help. Nobody's gonna do my work for me if I'm not here. So I have to be here every day, all day, right? And so that's kind of a pickle, But if you're going to sustain your efforts and get to the goal and build the life you want, you have to understand that you need to take time off sometimes, that you need to take a day for yourself or a moment for yourself, whether it's to unwind or get sleep or to make sure that your physical health is taken care of, or your mental health, your spiritual health, etc. Or if it's just merely like you got to take a day off because you want to come back with a renewed sense of purpose even. Okay? So we have to find a way to make that happen. Yeah. Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about the Knight of Wands. Your energy is always quick to jump into something, you know? To me, this feels like a very selfless energy, or maybe not quite selfless, but it's kind of like we're jumping into the activity, we're jumping into the work with very little regard for ourselves. You know, it's like as soon as there's work to do, we raise our hand, we're jumping in. We're not thinking like, oh, I should probably go eat some food, right? Or it's kind of like, you know, who wants to take a double shift? You're like, I'll do it. Well, you haven't slept in a week. You're like, maybe you should take a rest instead of jumping in for the extra work. I feel like that's the kind of person you are, you know. I feel like you're always volunteering to help others. It's a very good quality, right? But over time, it can deteriorate our own vitality. It can take its toll on us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay, so we need to sort of, we need to be able to, and maybe you feel like if you're not moving, if you're not working, if you're not doing anything, then you're being unproductive, right? Because I don't literally know what the other people in your life are doing, but through your eyes, it feels as if I've got to be the one to jump up and do everything because no one's going to do it for me. Whether they actually will or not, I don't know. I feel like you're not going to find out until you try, right? The Six of Cups is the card of community. It's a card of everybody working together. It's the card of everybody supporting everybody, right? So if somebody takes a day off, everybody else pitches in and gets their work done for them. So when they come back, they don't have a huge backlog of orders that need to be processed or something, right? So I think you're going to be surprised at the support that you find in the people that are around you. Now, the Fool is here in the position of your relationships, in the position of your environment. The Fool, in some sense, is someone who is doing nothing for themselves and everything is being done for them. And I feel like we don't want to appear like that. We don't want to seem that way, but we also want to have the Fool energy in its form as the refreshed energy. Okay, by taking the time to yourself, I think we're coming back refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated. Because this is a Fool card, I want to do for you a hexagram from the I Ching. Okay, anytime we get the Fool, I like to do an I Ching hexagram because the Fool is sort of straddling the line between wisdom and folly, right? And the I Ching, there it is. Repeating chasms. The I Ching loves to tell us whether we're being foolish or wise, right? And now we have the repeating chasms. We have water over water, danger over danger. There is truth and confidence. A connected heart creates success. Movement brings honor, right? So I feel like it's a matter of honor for you. That's saying as long as I'm moving and contributing and being productive, then I feel that honor. I feel that pride. I feel like I'm part of the group and I'm valuable, right? But the connected heart, connecting with our sense of purpose, connecting with ourselves, connecting with the people around us, that is real success, okay? So the commentary says, sometimes you fall into the swirling, unknowable dark, and the only way forward is to accept the truth of the present moment and trust in your inner knowing. Stay in communication with your heart and your creative source. Then, movement forward shows courage and commitment, as well as a test of your convictions. What are you sure of in your heart when nothing else is certain? How can you flow on and through the dark? We see the dark here in the Moon card. This is the Moon card that says, there is darkness now, but the light is about to rise. The sun is about to come up over the horizon, and daylight is about to be upon us. Okay? So the repeating danger is, to me, feeling like no matter what you do, there's an unending, a never-ending, a never-ceasing flow of trouble and difficulty and responsibility and challenge and work. You know, it's kind of like you work for the post office, and it's like the mail just keeps coming. There's no end in sight, right? And so we kind of feel like we can't We can't take a day off. I can't even take care of my own personal needs because the work just keeps coming and coming and coming. And so we feel the pressure, right? And so we have the repeating chasms. It's like behind us, there is all this work and all this trouble. In front of us, just more of the same. So it feels like an endless night. It feels like that. It feels that darkness goes on and on and on. And I think that's starting to diminish your spirit. It's starting to not only take its toll physically, but we're starting to even question whether or not this is the path for us. So we really do need a renewal. We need we need a little bit of a magical retirement so that we can rejuvenate our energy and come back with a fresh spirit. Okay. You have to ask what is currently out of alignment in your life. Now, the Ace of Cups, as we talked about, this is the heart. This is that activated love energy. The feeling of having the purpose, the feeling of like I'm on a quest and this is my quest and I believe in it and I love it and I'm devoted to it. This is in the position of the difficulty. The overwhelming physical toll and spiritual toll that the work is taking is starting to cloud your perception of that purpose. Till eventually I'm going to be so depleted and so burned out I don't care about the purpose anymore. Right? We don't want to let it get to that point. So we have to understand the ebb and flow of our life. Some days it's going to be work, 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 surge, surge, surge. And then it's going to be, okay, pull back, recuperate, rest. You know, I mean, in any kind of a project or any kind of work, there are cycles. There is ebb and flow, right? And we need that ebb and flow because that change, right? That the cyclic nature of the path is what keeps it constant. Change equals stability. Okay? And that is the moon card, the cycles, the ebb and flow of the moon. And you're in a moon phase now, you're in a new moon type of phase where it feels like there's darkness. It feels like the purpose ain't here. I'm not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not seeing the ending of this. We know that the light is just about to rise. I feel like you're going to reach your goals and they're going to be spectacular. We have to work on that Six of Cups in order to replenish and restore ourselves, rejuvenate our energy, reconnect with that sense of purpose, and the light will arrive. We're entering into a time of the expansion of the light, the growing of the light. Okay? I feel like this is the darkest before the dawn for you. Okay? Because this is a doorway card, and it says that things are just about to change in a very, very amazing way for you, I want to do a Divine Doorway Oracle card. I love the doorway cards. They are my favorite cards. The Aeon card, the Moon card, even the Tower card is a bit of a doorway. The Tower card's more of us crashing through the wall, though, than going through the door. But that's all right. Your doorway card, trust in the universe. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. The timing's not yours, but the universe at play. Have faith and breathe. All right. The intuition has wandered and led you astray. No, I don't believe in that. I don't think the intuition will ever lead us astray. What we might mistake as the intuition, our thoughts, our worry, our fatigue, right? That kind of thing will lead us astray. The intuition will never lead you astray. So the darkening of the light, the darkness that we're in now, the new moon energy, where the lunar light has waned and waned and waned until there's none left. In that darkness, we feel like we've been abandoned by the intuition. And now we're just going through the motions. I don't know what to do. I'm just showing up every day and I'm just kind of busting my ass, working hard, you know. Trust in the universe. The light will dawn. Okay, the energy will wax again, and the light will be here, and things will change in a very major way for you. Okay, we got to breathe and keep the faith. Let's look at the mystery card. I want some water or some earth. I want the Empress, maybe the star, right? Maybe the returning of the intuition, dawning of the light, maybe the Sun card, maybe the High Priestess. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Yeah, the star. Oh, look at that. And the star is your superpower card. So this card represents Aquarius. This is your superpower card. Okay? So this is really the dawning of that light. This tells me that you're following your North Star. But right now it might just be we might be so fatigued and so feeling like our perception is clouded that we can't see the stars up there. Okay? But it's kind of like even when things are not looking so clear to us, we trust that our star is up there and we're heading in the right direction. Okay? I think that the dawning of the light, the arrival of the energy, the lunar energy, let's say, is really the arrival of the star. It's going to be our direct perception of our sense of purpose, our destiny, coming into our strength, coming into our own clarity. Okay? And I feel that once we align those 6 cups, our 6 pillars of health and well-being, I feel like we are stepping into a renewed, refreshed, rejuvenated version of ourselves. And we are getting the clarity and the insight we need to know that we're on the right path, we're doing the right work, and there is a steady beacon of light guiding you. And we understand that, as long as we keep the star we keep our ship pointed at the star, 0 degrees, true north, we can ebb and flow with the tides. We can slow down, we can speed up. We can make a lot of progress, and then we can take some time and we can restore ourselves, right? There are only so many hours in the day. So we need to trust the process. We need to trust ourselves and the universe that I'm devoting the right amount of time to the work and the right amount of time to my personal needs, my friends, my family, my pets, my plants, my people, right? And so this is that confirmation. I love this. I think this is spectacular. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below in the video description. New readings for Aquarius on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.